Alright, let's now talk about the different sequence modeling tasks that we can tackle with recurrent neural networks. So let's briefly recap what the structure of a recurrent neural network looks like. On the left-hand side, we have this compact visualization with a recurrent edge. And on the right-hand side, we have the same network in the unfolded representation. It's just a different type of visualization. And here we can better see that there is a connection between the hidden states. Yeah, and this hidden state allows us to incorporate information about the sequence of the input. So for example, if we have a sentence consisting of words, we will be connecting each hidden state to the previous hidden state corresponding to the previous word in the sentence. Now, we briefly mentioned that there are these different types of tasks: the many-to-one approach, the one-to-many approach, and the two different types of many-to-many approaches. So how do these different approaches differ, and when do we use which? The many-to-one approach is usually used for classification tasks. For example, a classification task might be, is this a positive movie review or not? Or is this email spam or not? Or what's the category of this particular news article? So here the idea is that we have many inputs, the different words in the sentence, and one output, the class label. A one-to-many approach would be when we have one input, for example in this case an image, and we create many outputs, for example a description for this image. So in this case, a one-to-many approach may be used for summarization or image captioning. So one context where we might use a many-to-many approach is video frame classification. So we have many inputs here, the many frames of that video, and the outputs then correspond to the different labels, one label per frame, for example. So here we see another example of a many-to-many approach where we have this delayed response. So for example, this would be useful for language translation or text summarization, where we, for example, take in the whole input sentence before we do something with it. In language translation, we would read the sentence, think about it, and then create the output sentence. And in a similar way, the recurrent neural network here takes an input sentence, creates a hidden representation, and then translates the sentence. Or if you're familiar with ChatGPT, in ChatGPT we are usually writing a question or a prompt, and then the model is creating these different output sentences. So now that we are familiar with the different types of problems we can solve with RNNs, let's now talk more about the input and how we can encode the inputs using embedding layers, which will be the topic of the next video.